So, in the last class, we have seen about what are transducers and resistive transducers. So, in this class, we are going to see about inductive transducers. Okay, so what is inductive transducer? Inductive transducers are the transducer which is working on the principle of inductance change. Okay, these are the transducer which working on the principle of inductance change. That is, when a measuring quantity is there in input side, based on that measuring quantity, the inductance of the transducer changes, and after that it will be converting into electrical signal. Those kinds of transducers are called as inductive transducers. Okay, so inductive transducers work on the principle of inductance change due to any appreciable change in quantity to be measured. അതായത് ഇൻപുട്ടിൽ നമ്മൾ ഒരു ഡിസ്പ്ലേസ്മെൻറ്റോ പ്രഷറോ ഫോഴ്സോ എന്തെങ്കിലും നമ്മൾ കൊടുക്കുകയാണ്. അത് ബേസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അതിൻ്റെ ഇൻഡക്റ്റൻസ് വേരി ചെയ്യുന്നു. ആ കറസ്പോണ്ടിങ് ഇൻഡക്റ്റൻസ് ഒരു ഇലക്ട്രിക്കൽ ക്വാണ്ടിറ്റി ആയിട്ട് മെഷർ ചെയ്യുന്നു. സോ ദിസ് കൈൻഡ്സ് ഓഫ് ട്രാൻസ്ഡ്യൂസേഴ്സ് ഈസ് നോൺ ആസ് ഇൻഡക്റ്റീവ് ട്രാൻസ്ഡ്യൂസേഴ്സ്. For example, LVDT. LVDT means linear variable differential transformer. Okay, so it measures displacement in terms of voltage difference between two secondary voltages. Okay, here the input will be displacement. So this displacement, the displacement changes, it will measure as the voltage difference between the two secondary windings. Okay, so these are inductive transducers. അതായത് inductive transducers are the transducer which is working on the principle of inductance change due to an appreciable change in quantity to be measured. ഇൻപുട്ടിൽ ഒരു ക്വാണ്ടിറ്റി, നമ്മൾ ഒരു ഇൻപുട്ടിൽ ഒരു ക്വാണ്ടിറ്റി നമുക്ക് മെഷർ ചെയ്യണം. ആ ക്വാണ്ടിറ്റിയുടെ വേരിയേഷൻ അനുസരിച്ച് അതിൻ്റെ കറസ്പോണ്ടിങ് ഇൻഡക്റ്റൻസ് വേരി ചെയ്യുന്നു. ആ വേരിയബിൾ ഇൻഡക്റ്റൻസ് വെച്ചിട്ട് അതിനെ ഒരു ഇലക്ട്രിക്കൽ ക്വാണ്ടിറ്റി ആയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ഔട്ട്പുട്ടിൽ കിട്ടും. സോ these kinds of transducers are known as inductive transducers. Okay, and inductive transducers use one of the following principle for its working. These are change in self-inductance, or change in mutual inductance, or production of eddy current. Okay, so these are the three factors by which a inductive transducer is working, either due to the change in self-inductance, or due to the change in mutual inductance, or by production of eddy current. These all things we will be seeing later. Okay, so working principle. The working principle of an inductive transducer is like I told already, that is, it is working on the principle of magnetic induction. Okay, that is, the inductive transducer work on the principle of magnetic induction of the magnetic material. Okay, and also this magnetic induction, it is depending on various factors such as number of turns of the coil, the size of the magnetic material, permeability of the flux path, and change in air gaps. These all factors are depending on the magnetic induction of that corresponding material. Okay, so what all factors are there? Number of turns of the coil, the size of the magnetic material, permeability of the flux path, air change in air gaps, etc. Okay, and also I told change in air gaps, which will result in change in inductance, and these kinds of flux change is majorly used in inductive transducers. For example, LVDT. So these all things we will be discussing in detail in the coming topics. Okay, so first kind of inductive transducer, that is LVDT, that is linear variable differential transformer. Linear variable differential transformer. Okay, so LVDT is an inductive transducer, already told. LVDT is a variable inductance transducer used for measurement of linear displacement. We have already seen in the last few examples that LVDT is used for measurement of displacement. That that is the displacement it will be converting into a electrical signal. Okay. So it converts linear motion into electrical signals. That is displacement into electrical signals. So basic principle of LVDT. LVDT works under the principle of mutual inductance. I told already in case of inductive transducers, it will be working based on the change of self-inductance, change of mutual inductance, and production of eddy current. So here LVDT will be working based on the principle of mutual induction. Okay, mutual induction means the variation of flux between the primary and secondary winding. Okay, so the displacement, which is a non-electrical quantity, is converted into an electrical energy in the case of LVDT. That is, we have already seen that displacement it is converting into an electrical voltage here in the case of LVDT. So the construction of LVDT is shown here. Here you can see one core is present here. Okay, and a cylindrical insulation foam is there. Inside that a core is present. Okay, and the motion means wherever the displacement happen, it will be exciting this core. Okay, and in that insulating foam, a primary coil is present in the center, and on both sides of that primary coil, two secondary coils are placed. Okay, have you seen the figure? Okay, and the primary side we are applying a constant AC voltage, and based on the displacement here the core will be excited, and that excitation will come as change in voltage across this two secondary side. Okay, two secondary windings are there here. So based on the excitation of this core, the secondary voltage across this secondary coil 1 and this secondary coil 2 will be changing, and we will be getting a differential voltage. So whatever the displacement change happening here, we will be getting a differential voltage from these two secondary coils. Okay, so output will be V1 minus V2. Difference between these two secondary voltages will be the displacement change, whatever the displacement change happen in the input side. Okay, so this is about the figure of this LVDT, and here you can see LVDT consists of a cylindrical former. I told that a cylindrical former is there in which is surrounded by a primary winding in the center. In center primary winding is there, you can see here, and two secondary windings at the sides. Two secondary windings are there at the sides, secondary coil 1 and secondary coil 2. Okay, and also number of turns of both secondary windings are equal. For the secondary windings, number of turns will be equal for both the secondary winding, and it should be opposite to each other also. Okay, here number of turns for the secondary windings is same, but the thing is that it will be opposite to each other. It will be opposite to each other. That means if one winding is kept in clockwise direction, the other winding should be kept in anti-clockwise direction. So the resultant voltage should be one voltage across one secondary winding minus the voltage across the other secondary winding. Means it should be the difference of this both secondary voltages. Okay, so the secondary windings are opposite to each other. That is, if one side secondary windings is in clockwise direction, the other should be in anti-clockwise direction. So the net output voltage will be the difference in voltage between two secondary coil. Okay, net output voltage will be the difference in voltage between the two secondary coil. Okay, so same figure is read on here like this. Here you can see a primary winding is there. AC signal is applied for excitation, and here core is present. Okay, and here in secondary side two windings are there, which is denoted by S1 and S2, and both the turns, number of turns in this secondary windings are same, but the thing is it is winded in opposite direction. it is winded in opposite direction. So as a result of that, we will be getting a differential voltage here, which is V1 is the voltage across this secondary one, and this V2 is the voltage across this secondary 2. So we are getting this differential voltage V0, which is equal to V1 minus V2. Okay, this is this figure. So the secondary coils are represented as S1 and S2. I have told already. Iron core is placed in the center of the cylindrical former. Iron core is the which can move in to and fro direction based on the excitation, and the based on the change in displacement, this core will be excited to and fro, left or right direction. Okay, and here AC excitation voltage is between 5 volt and 12 volt, and the operating frequency here is 50 to 400 hertz. Okay, operating frequency is between 50 to 400 hertz, and the excitation voltage applied here is 5 volt to 12 volt. Okay, and working of LVDT, and in working of LVDT we can classify into three cases that we can see. Case 1, on applying an applying an external force. That is, external force means it will be changing displacement. Okay, so on applying an external force, if the core remains in null position itself without providing any moment. So if you are applying an external force or change in displacement, after applying that force also, if there is no change in the position of that core, okay, core remains in null position, means core remains in standstill, then the voltage induced in both the secondary windings are equal. Voltage induced in the both the windings will be equal only at that time. Okay, because both are having that same winding, means same number of turns. So if core is not excited and it is keeping standstill, the voltage induced in both the secondary windings will be equal, which results in net output voltage equal to 0. We know that the differential voltage V0, which is equal to V1 minus V2. So both the secondary windings will be having same voltage, so V1 minus V2 will be equal to 0. So that is the case 1. That is, if you are applying an external force, and after applying that external force also, that the core remains in null position, it is not having any change. So at that time, the induced voltage in two halves of that secondary windings will be same. As a result, the differential voltage V1 minus V2, which is equal to 0. And next one, case 2, when the external force is applied and the iron core tends to move in left hand side direction. If it is moving towards the left hand side direction, what will be happening? Then the induced EMF in the secondary coil 1 is greater than induced EMF in the secondary coil 2. In that case, when we are applying an external force and that iron core is tend to move towards left side direction, what will be happening? The induced EMF in the secondary coil 1 side will be having more EMF, whereas secondary coil 2 will be having a lesser induced EMF. So as a result, the net output voltage will be V1 minus V2. Okay, and in case 3 means when an external force is applied and that based on that excitation, this iron core is tend to move towards right side direction, then the EMF induced in the secondary coil 2 will be greater than induced EMF in the secondary coil, secondary coil 1. Secondary coil 2 will be having more EMF than secondary coil 1. So in that case, net output voltage will be V2 minus V1. So these are the three cases in LVDT. Okay, LVDT working condition. Okay, now coming to the output characteristics, the magnitude of the differential voltage V0 will be varying with the change in core position. Already we have seen, based on the change in core position, the magnitude of the output voltage will be changing. Okay, it will be changing with the displacement. Whatever displacement is happening, based on that displacement only, that core position is changing. As a result, the magnitude of the output voltage, differential output voltage, will be changing. Okay, and the differential output voltage will be increasing when the core is made to move either towards left or towards right side. Okay, if the core is moving either towards left side or towards right side, the differential output voltage will be increased. Okay, also output voltage changes linearly with the displacement of the core. Output voltage is changing linearly with the displacement of the core. And also so output voltage, we can say it is a function of displacement of the core. Okay, so this is the figure. Here you can see, here this is the y-axis is the output voltage, and x-axis you can see the displacement of the core. Okay, so here you can see this is the null position, the center is the null position, and you can see based on the core exciting towards right side or left side, you can see displacement and the output voltage of the core. And from this figure itself you can see it is varying linearly, it is varying linearly. So this is about the output characteristics of the LVDT. And also normally in null position, output voltage means differential output voltage used to be 0. When that iron core is in null position, normally differential output voltage will be 0. But in some cases what will be happening now, some small amount of voltage will be appearing across the output terminals. Like differential output voltage will not be 0 in some cases, it will be having a small voltage value. Okay, this is mainly due to incomplete electrical and magnetic balance. If there is some incomplete electrical or magnetic balance, or if some stray magnetic fields or temperature effect is there, a small voltage will be appearing across differential output voltage, even though the core is presenting in the null position. Even though core is in null position, due to these factors like incomplete electrical or magnetic balance or stray magnetic field, or due to temperature effect, some value change means there will be a small amount of value will be there for output differential voltage. So this is one disadvantage of this LVDT. Okay, so this is all about the output characteristics of the LVDT. And also for an output voltage curve, you can see it is linear for some range, it is linear for some range, after that it is coming as non-linear. Okay, for some range it is linear up to a certain value of displacement, after that its characteristics is deviating from its linearity. Okay, and okay, next one is advantages of LVDT. LVDT is having a high sensitivity. LVDT is having high sensitivity. It is having infinite resolution. It is having very good linearity. It provides less friction. It is having low hysteresis. It is having low power consumption. So these are the advantages of LVDTs. Okay, and also disadvantages of LVDT. Very high displacement is required for generating high voltages. This is one major disadvantage of LVDT. Very high displacement is required for generating high voltages. Even though it is having a high resolution and high sensitivity, if high voltage is required, very high displacement is required in the case of LVDT. And also magnetic shielding is required since it is very sensitive to magnetic field. And also performance of this transducer gets affected by vibration. If there is more vibration, the performance of this kind of LVDT is getting affected. And also it is greatly affected by the temperature changes, due to if high temperature changes is there, that uh, it is not good to use these kinds of LVDT, because it will be adversely affecting if temperature is changing too much. Like I told previously, in null position also, if core is in null position also, if too much temperature differences is coming, means there will be a small differential voltage. So this LVDT is greatly affected by the temperature changes. So these are the disadvantages of LVDT. Now coming to the applications, LVDT is used to measure displacement ranging from fraction millimeter to centimeter. Already we have told that it is having high sensitivity and high resolution. So LVDT is used to measure displacement ranging from fraction millimeter to centimeter. That even small change also it can measure. Okay, and it is acting as secondary transducer. We have already seen that in Borden tubes and all, it is acting as a secondary transducer, so that it can use to measure force, weight, pressure, etc. Force, weight, pressure directly it can measure. So a primary transducer will be there. It will be converting force into displacement, and this displacement it can convert to electrical signal by this LVDT. So it can be used as a secondary transducer. So these all are about the inductive transducers. In the next classes, we will be seeing about the capacitive transducers. Okay. So uh, this is all about the inductive transducer. Okay. Thank you.